Now, South Africans have been urged to do their bit to tackle the electricity crisis faced by the country. During his energy plan announcement on Monday, President Cyril Ramaphosa said some of the steps will include having more businesses and households investing in solar power. But big question, how much does it cost to get solar power? I'm joined now by Skynat Energy CEO Peter Salanje to give us more detail. Very good morning to you, Peter. Thank you for your time. It's all very well to say my dream is to have every household have a solar powered home, but there are costs concerned. Talk to us then about what really it takes for a household to consider using solar powered energy.
Good day there. Hi, Paul. Thank you for having us as well. Yeah, so as you say, I'm Peter from Skynat Energy. And, well, we've been in the solar industry for say, about 7 years now. And the biggest challenge that we've had in Africa is the fact that the cost was higher than other countries. So, in essence, we were not able to feed into the grid. And because of that, we had to, if you were, say, to get a solar system today, you need a battery and an inverter and panel set. So it costs anything between 60,000 on a smaller size one to as much as 300, 400 for a household, yeah.
So what are some of the considerations, sorry, Peter, if you'll allow me, just considerations that one has to perhaps think of? I mean, there must be certain dynamics that would determine the cost that you speak of. And as you go out and evaluate, what are those considerations?
Well, the main one is normally to sort of tackle your electricity bill. So it's mostly to cover exactly how much you're getting from Eskom and to try and get that off from the solar panels during the day. And so that's what indicates the cost of the solar panels. And in terms of the inverter itself, there are variables. So if you are going totally off the grid without any sort of backup from Eskom or generator, then it does cost a lot more than it would cost to actually just have a system that you gradually grow and you've got Eskom as a backup. So that's the main consideration as well. Are you going totally off the grid, or it's just going to be partially and you still have Eskom or the grid power rather supplying it at some times?
There was also an opportunity that was announced by the President as he unveiled these plans to tackle the energy crisis. He made mention of how those who have installed solar panels in their homes or businesses will be able to sell surplus power that they don't need to Eskom. How will that work?
All right. So majority of, or rather some of the better inverters, the good quality ones on the market, the ones that we've actually seen to be more popular in the recent years, they are able to feed back into the grid. But previously, like I said, it was difficult. You couldn't really feed into the grid. The only way you do it is you just try and balance your curves. So whatever you loan the grid during the day, you take it back at night and you just keep it flat. So that, the main advantage of that is it will bring down the initial cost of solar for most people, for most households, and as well as it will shorten the payback time. So if you would expect the return on your investment to be, say, 10 years, then it could come down to 5 years, depending on how much power you've got, how many panels you've got as well, and how much you're using. So yeah, you then be able to add in more panels, to cover an entire roof. Let's say it's a commercial space, and you don't, which doesn't operate between Saturday and Sunday, and so all the power that you generate between those 2 days could actually be fed into the grid, and could then, you can loan some of it back at night for night usage, but most importantly, you then start getting some of that money back that you invested on the system.
We keep hearing that South Africa has a great abundance of sun. What are the differences in the panels? I mean, those who are panels that are able to generate the sun even when it's overcast, and those that may perhaps only work when there is direct sunlight. I mean, what are the differences between those two?
Well, look, on the panel technologies, besides from brand and quality, mainly you get the mono and the poly. So in most cases, the poly, or rather the mono, is designed to generate as much electricity as possible in the, in, like you said, overcast conditions. Although it's never, in some cases, it's never really a good idea to have it if you, let's say, for example, in the Northern Cape where it's really hot, the lifespan might be shortened as it tends to collect a lot more heat than poly. So, but majority of the panels at this stage as well in the market, it's sort of now shifting to the mono for most of them.
So it sounds great. You budget accordingly. You get these panels installed. Then what about the upkeep and the maintenance? How does that work?
It's like with maintenance, as technology advances, the need for maintaining is no longer really there. So, for instance, we've noticed as well, most of the people going solar at the stage. In fact, in our situation, we only deal with lithium ion, which has got a lifespan of anything between 5, 7 to 15 years. And so they are fully, usually do have a built-in computer, and you don't really have to manage those. The only real thing you need to do in terms of maintenance is maybe occasionally clean up the panels, with a hose, so that you keep getting peak power. And besides from that, just daily monitoring if you want to. But after about a month or two, then you sort of understand your usage pattern as well as your generation pattern, and the need for constant maintenance is no longer really there. So that's another advantage of inverter technology. There isn't a need for a lot of maintenance.
And very quickly, perhaps some tips for those who may be out there going to buy panels, because price is a massive factor, so one might be tempted to just go for the lowest price.
Okay, well, look, at this stage and now with the new development that the president announced as well, it's probably better to go for a system that's got a grid tie function to it, that's able to fit into the grid. Because, I mean, if you're not at home and you've got excess power, you might as well sell that and get some of that money back. And with panels, in fact, with the inverter system as well, it's never really advisable to go for the cheapest on the market. So, and you don't have to spend, you don't have to break the bank as well. So it's best to do your research in most situations, understand the product, and maybe do some reviews around it and really understand the product, and get something really with a good warranty and a good track record as well.
Very well. Thank you so much for that. Peter Salanje, CEO of Skynat Energy, speaking about the practicality and cost involved in solar-powered ways of generating energy there.